drone accidentally makes a frightening discovery in the forest. From ancient creatures to abandoned bases from the time of the Second World War. Today, we will venture into the very heart of the forests and hear incredible stories that make the blood run cold. We will tell you about mysterious cries, strange creatures, myths, and facts that are hard to explain. Today, at your request, there will be more moments and less description for each. You are on the TopFacts channel. Enjoy watching. In the vicinity of the picturesque Crescent Waterfalls in the Canadian province of Alberta, one of the most intriguing encounters took place. A tourist discovered a strange structure that looked like a shelter made of branches. After setting up a camera, he soon returned to review the footage and was horrified. A large, shaggy figure was examining this structure and broke a tree standing nearby. The footage shows a bipedal creature, more than 2 meters tall, with thick fur, hiding from the camera lens. Many are convinced this is the legendary snowman, commonly referred to as Bigfoot. Venturing along the trails of the Amazon, you risk encountering a creature with a bright red face, a bald head, and a long tail, the Wakari monkey. It is incredibly agile and moves across treetops almost without using its limbs, living in large groups that sometimes reach up to 100 individuals. According to scientists, the brighter the facial coloration, the more appealing an individual is to its peers. To this day, the largest snake recognized by science is the green anaconda, found in the South American jungles. Certain specimens reach lengths of more than 6 and sometimes even 9 meters, and they are considered among the heaviest snakes on the planet. However, their prehistoric relative Titanoboa, which lived tens of millions of years ago, could grow to 15 meters and weigh over a ton. There are also strange legends about giants in the Congo. For instance, Belgian pilot Remy van Ley, in the middle of the past century, claimed he had seen a snake about 60 meters long. Scientific proof of this does not exist, but such stories continue to captivate minds. It is not uncommon for people living near a forest to experience an inexplicable fear. In one TikTok video, you can hear a child's panicked voice calling for their parents while the dogs in the yard bark loudly. At the moment the child points the camera toward the backyard, a hairy figure suddenly appears in the shadows of the trees. It moves among the trunks as though unaware it is being recorded. Some are certain it is also Bigfoot, especially given its imposing height and fur-covered body. Picture a dark night. You are walking along a path, and suddenly you notice a pair of glowing eyes at about human height. These eerie lights could belong to anyone, a large predator or something even more terrifying, as there are countless legends about such lights in the night. All of this makes one think that deep in the wild, there may be creatures we fear meeting face to face. Which is more frightening? The witches said to live in Papua New Guinea, or the persecution endured by those labeled sorcerers? In certain regions of that country, it is believed that some people, especially widowed women, practice black magic. As soon as one resident points to a supposed witch, that's it. Witch hunts begin. It is believed that each year around 200 people die in such attacks, although activists insist the figure might be several times higher, reaching tens of thousands. Sometimes victims are forced to leave their homes and villages, fleeing from this extreme persecution. At the end of the past century, a renowned ufologist from Guatemala received an old photograph of a gigantic stone head, allegedly found in local jungles. The statue astonished people with its shape and a white hue uncharacteristic of the ancient cultures in that region. Rumor had it that this might indicate some contact with outsiders, but like many sensational discoveries, it remained surrounded by doubt and mystery. In Japan, there is a forest called Aokigahara, also known as the Suicide Forest. It is situated at the base of Mount Fuji and is so densely overgrown that it is easy to lose your way. In some spots, there is almost no wind, and navigation devices frequently malfunction. It is believed that many people come here to end their lives, making this place steeped in dark stories. Some say that ghosts roam deep among the trees, bringing on a sense of irrational dread. Researchers were astonished when they uncovered remnants of a Nazi base in the jungles of Argentina. It is known that many Nazis fled to South America during the Second World War. One theory suggests that Hitler and Eva Braun themselves escaped through a secret tunnel and hid in these parts for some time, though no solid evidence has been found. Perhaps it is merely rumor, yet authentic Nazi structures discovered in the jungle confirm that some sort of clandestine activity really took place here. In tropical forests, there is a parasitic fungus that selects ants as its victims. Initially, the insect appears perfectly healthy, but soon the fungus drives it to leave its colony, climb to a high place, and die there. During this waiting period, the fungus grows inside the ant and then bursts out, scattering spores onto new unfortunate hosts. The scene truly evokes a real-life zombie apocalypse. In a remote corner of Alabama, a trail camera captured a terrifying paw with long, wolf-like claws. The landowner confirmed that soon afterward, he noticed several of his goats had disappeared over recent weeks. Meanwhile, a witness in South Carolina reported an encounter with an oversized, spine-covered reptile that followed him for a while. It feels as though the depths of the forests hide something capable of stirring our deepest fears. In the Central African jungles of the Congo, local tribes tell stories of Mokambembe, a creature described as a living dinosaur. They say it is rather timid and rarely shows itself to humans. A few explorers have gone on expeditions, hoping to find evidence of this last of the giants, and some have even found strange footprints. Yet official science has not recognized these tales, and they remain within the realm of local folklore. Imagine wandering through a forest and suddenly discovering an entire installation of human skeletons. In a certain forest park near Essex in England, there is a unique display featuring unsettling figures, skeletons, floating even a blue figure of a girl with an umbrella. This place has turned into an art festival visited by thousands of spectators and creators from around the globe each year. Naturally, encountering such a scene in the dark could send a chill through anyone. Many believe zombies are merely part of pop culture, yet every now and then footage appears online seemingly showing shapes akin to walking corpses. One even sees a photo of a zombie child with eerily glowing eyes caught on a trail camera. Such material sparks debate. Is it real or staged? Regardless, these videos gather millions of views since people are invariably drawn to the unexplained. Not far from Mexico City, along the canals of Xochimilco, there lies a menacing island adorned with old dolls. Long ago, a girl drowned there, and a local hermit, thinking her spirit was not at peace, began hanging dolls to placate her ghost. Nowadays, this island is a tourist attraction, yet many claim that at night, the dolls appear to come to life and murmur among themselves. Those who dare touch them or, heaven forbid, take something as a souvenir often recount being followed by misfortune. The Congo River is one of the deepest rivers on Earth. Its depth can exceed 200 meters in certain areas. Scientists have discovered unique pale, nearly blind fish here, akin to creatures dwelling in caves. The powerful current forms whirlpools and underwater canyons that remain largely uncharted. No one knows which secrets still lie in these depths. Near the town of Visoko in Bosnia, local archaeologist enthusiast Samir Osmanagic found a massive stone sphere partially buried in the ground. By his account, the sphere could be over 1,500 years old and possess a high iron content. Similar stone spheres, though smaller, were once unearthed in Costa Rica. Such discoveries suggest that perhaps there were once civilizations on Earth more adept at stonework than we imagine. In one of Arizona's national parks, there lie authentic petrified trees that are already hundreds of years old. Visitors are strictly forbidden to remove any fragments, but daredevils sometimes ignore this rule. Since the 1930s, the park has been receiving packages from individuals who returned the stolen petrified pieces, along with apologies. They mentioned an extraordinary streak of bad luck that started after the theft and asked for the curse to be undone. The legend of the Chupacabra originated in Latin America, but word of this creature has now reached the United States. Farmers complain that something is draining their animals' blood. On occasion, people see a red-eyed beast with terrifying fangs. In Louisiana, a snapshot was once taken of a strange animal that some tried to compare with a hyena, although many insist it was indeed a chupacabra. All around the globe, traces are found that are attributed to legendary giants. For instance, in Hinduism, there is a reference to the god Hanuman, whose colossal footprints have reportedly been discovered in Thailand, Sri Lanka, and other regions. In Ecuador, explorers not too long ago stumbled upon an ancient city of huge stone blocks, seemingly constructed for giants. The height of these structures is astonishing, though skeptics argue it is merely a natural formation. Friends, during this 5-second pause, I kindly ask you to rate the video and leave absolutely any comment. It greatly helps our channel grow. Thank you very much. Mimicry in the wild is truly remarkable. Some grasshoppers not only blend in with leaves, but even feature holes on their bodies that simulate ragged foliage. This has often confused scientists, who for a time thought different subspecies of the same insect were separate species because of the varied leaves they mimic. A peculiar story claims that archaeologists supposedly discovered fragments of an alien vessel tens of thousands of years old. According to different versions, the find was made in British Columbia or in Russia, always with mention of covert operations by intelligence agencies. It is rumored that the metallic alloys are unquestionably unlike those on Earth, and local legends about star people might be linked to this crash. There is no confirmation, though, and these tales continue to accumulate speculation. In Central Africa, there is another legendary being known as Mel Mbembe. Locals describe it as a large herbivore residing in swamps, resembling a sauropod with a long neck and tail. Some explorers have reported encountering giant round footprints believed to be linked to this creature. Nevertheless, all such myths remain part of local folklore. Two teenagers from Auckland, New Zealand, were filming a school project when two mysterious strangers in white masks emerged in the background. They stood on the far side of abandoned railway tracks and watched them in silence, neither coming closer nor saying anything. The teenagers grew frightened and ran off. Why these individuals were in the forest and observed so impassively is still a mystery. It is said that the Grim Reaper, or Death with a scythe, comes to claim our souls. A trail camera deep within the forest once recorded a dark figure holding what looked like a scythe. Few details exist. Nobody knows if it was a prank, someone in costume, or something genuinely supernatural. Yet the notion that death itself might appear before a camera captivates the imagination. British explorer Percy Fawcett, in the century before last, swore he had seen an anaconda at least 12 meters in length and as thick as a person's body. His claim remains unverified, yet rumors persist that genuine monsters might still lurk in the depths of the Amazon. Modern videos occasionally reveal strange, writhing forms moving underwater, which many explain as special effects or edits. Nevertheless, legends of gigantic snakes endure. A video circulated online from the forests of the Sacré-Cœur region in Quebec, where the ground beneath the trees rose and fell as though it were breathing. Scientists attribute this phenomenon to a specific soil composition and powerful gusts of wind that sway the roots and lift the earth. However, it looks eerie on camera, giving the impression that the forest is alive and drawing breath alongside us. Strange though it may seem, freshwater dolphins do indeed inhabit the Amazon, distinguished by their pinkish-hued skin and elongated snouts. Locals call these creatures boto, alleging that at night they morph into humans and abduct young women, warning that making eye contact might bring a curse. Biologists note that the pinkish tint can intensify based on their emotional state, and in reality, these dolphins are quite friendly. In the foothills of the Himalayas, in the Dao Hill forests, stand a number of schools that have long been deserted. Locals deem these locales highly unsettling. Stories abound of headless boys and women dressed in white garments. The dark trees, abandoned buildings, and haunting tales of people who vanished there evoke true dread among visitors. Occasionally, local authorities even advise travelers not to wander too far into the forest for their own safety. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the mining of diamonds, often referred to as blood diamonds, has continued for a significant period. Revenue from diamond sales has funded armed conflicts, and the mining sector, controlled by various factions, has resulted in horrifying outcomes for the local population: forced labor, violence, and forced displacement. Many endeavor to combat these practices, yet not all diamonds are extracted by clean means. According to one famed account, in the province of Corrientes, a group of police officers received a report from local teenagers claiming they had seen a bizarre creature in the park. Upon arriving, these officers allegedly encountered a being resembling a tall gray alien, and even managed to take several clear photos. The images sparked skepticism online, but conspiracy theorists believe this could be the best evidence supporting extraterrestrial life. A resident of New York State, strolling through a remote woodland area, stumbled upon strange flyers attached to tree trunks. A short distance away, he discovered an empty tent, an opened can of food, and eerie inscriptions. Alarmed, he contacted the police. Later, those allegedly behind these flyers claimed it was a Halloween preparation. Yet many remain convinced that it all seemed far too realistic and unsettling, as though someone was genuinely plotting something. Near Liberty, Texas, lies an abandoned cemetery dating back to slavery times. Locals say the graves were desecrated and headstones were hauled away, robbing the place of any memorial to the deceased. At night, some observe a ghostly woman in a white dress. Stories say she wanders among the trees, searching for her missing gravestone or seeking peace for her spirit. A passerby once snapped a photo capturing a pale, hollow-eyed female figure, and it appears truly chilling. People in Papua New Guinea recount tales of a creature called ropin, or dwasas, which is believed to be a living pterosaur. It may reach a wingspan of up to 9 meters and emit a strange glow in the dark. Certain eyewitnesses describe it as a nocturnal predator that appears strictly during the darkest hours. Science views these claims as folklore, but enthusiasts continue their pursuits. For many years, the mysterious stone spheres of Costa Rica have been a source of intense debate among researchers and those fascinated by mysteries. They are perfectly spherical, come in various sizes, and are unmistakably man-made. Their exact purpose, however, remains a riddle. Some suggest they were part of an ancient ritual, while others argue they were used as calendar markers. Still, the puzzle remains unsolved. In one photograph captured by a forest trail camera, the subject is not an animal, but something resembling a tall human figure draped in a long robe. Is it a hermit living in solitude, a ghost, or someone involved in a ritual? They say the camera was positioned in a remote spot where only a single house existed, and it recorded the image during the witching hour, the darkest point of the night. To this day, locals debate what kind of being was caught on film. In tropical areas of South America and beyond lives the insect often called the assassin bug, which can pierce its target and drink blood, transmitting Chagas disease in the process. These insects are known as kissing bugs because they often bite people around the lips while they sleep. The bite can be highly hazardous, resulting in serious complications. Several years ago, researchers uncovered ancient megaliths arranged in a circle in the western Amazon, now referred to as the Amazon Stonehenge. Scientists estimate the stones may be a couple of thousand years old, and the site looks like an ancient observatory or a place of worship. It is possible that prehistoric communities in that area were far more advanced than commonly assumed and erected large-scale ceremonial constructions. A resident of Santa Cruz once stumbled upon a white gravestone in a local forest and initially dismissed it. Years later, crossing paths with it again, he became curious. It turned out to be the headstone of a young woman named Mary Holmes, who had died of tuberculosis toward the end of the century before last. It appears that the headstone had simply been stolen and left in the forest. The somber discovery stayed there for over 100 years before anyone tracked down its history. Another African tale speaks of the Congamato, a flying creature with leathery wings and a long snout reported to assault fishing boats. Locals compare it to ancient pterosaurs, describing its narrow head, toothed jaws, claws, and membrane-like wings. It is said to knock people out of boats or even carry away small livestock. While few can provide tangible proof of its existence, there are plenty of accounts inciting fear of this beast. In the Italian town of Bomarzo sits the renowned Park of Monsters, a garden filled with disquieting stone statues. It was established in the mid-16th century by a local noble who had endured a great deal of tragedy. There, you will find statues of howling monsters, a tilted house, and a towering mask with a gaping mouth, evoking a perpetual scream. Rather than being intended as a place of beauty and serenity, this space was conceived as a startling allegory of the pain and emotions the creator had gone through. In the past century, two lumberjacks came upon a peculiar white box suspended in a tree by a parachute near the base of Mount Lutz in Canada. Inside were cameras, but CIA officials soon arrived and seized the find, claiming it to be a weather balloon. Only much later did declassified files disclose Project Genetrix, a covert surveillance operation. What those cameras actually recorded remains a mystery. The legend of the Jersey Devil has haunted South New Jersey residents for more than 250 years. It is said to possess a horse's face, a dog's head, bat-like wings, and a tail, producing a piercing shriek. Many have purportedly witnessed it and even tried to photograph it. In the 1930s, it gained recognition as the state's devil. Some insist that it still roams the local marshes by night, appearing solely in passing headlights. An Australian living in Papua New Guinea won over the trust of the locals, who then guided him to a living museum concealed in the jungle, an unspoiled battleground near the Kokoda Trail. Helmets, shell casings, weaponry, and remains persist from ferocious warfare. This site is a reminder that in the rainforest's depths, fragments of history remain, even if largely forgotten. Now, searchers, historians, and the relatives of fallen soldiers strive to treat such findings with reverence, for each object discovered unveils new chapters of the past. An installation artist in southern Estonia erected a colossal circular structure that appears to be a portal to another dimension. It genuinely looks spellbinding, a round frame towering in the forest, and when you peer through it, it seems as though you are looking into another realm. Naturally, it is not truly a portal, but the spectacle is captivating and tempts one to believe in journeys between different worlds. In the Amazon basin lives a tiny fish called the candiru, which even locals find alarming. Rumors claim it can slip into any opening in the human body, a premise horrifying in and of itself. Although many tales are exaggerated, there is truth to the idea that it can cause real problems for swimmers who wear minimal clothing. A group of friends was enjoying themselves around a campfire in the forest when two of the girls spotted something darting in the undergrowth. It was small, with an oddly large head, and appeared to be watching them curiously as well. When they shone their flashlight on the creature, it hid behind a nearby tree. Some suggested it might be an alien taking cover in the forest. Similar stories often pop up online, but it is difficult to know if they are factual or fabricated. In the American town of Middlebury, Connecticut, hidden in the woods, is a village of tiny houses. One story says a witch lived in a stone cottage there and built all these homes for forest fairies. Another version claims a man lost his mind from the voices in his head and carved miniature houses everywhere. One more idea is that it was once an attraction that has long since been abandoned. However it came about, these neglected, moss-covered homes lend a grim, surreal quality to the site. In Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, a tall metal monolith abruptly appeared one day. Crowds of people gathered around it, taking selfies and trying to figure out who was behind this installation. But soon, a group burned it down, deeming it unclean. Similar structures have cropped up in other nations, igniting waves of speculation and conspiracy theories reminiscent of a space odyssey. Many battlegrounds from the Second World War still conceal vital clues about the past. Deserted trenches, dugouts, bomb craters, and hidden remnants of German supply posts. Researchers have intensified their exploration of such terrains, including in the Netherlands. By cross-referencing old records with field discoveries, historians glean new details about wartime events and the soldiers' destinies. Even after so many decades, the Earth discloses its bloody secrets to those who investigate it. Have you ever stumbled upon something truly unsettling or unexplainable in the forest? The world is full of enigmas, and our woodlands stand as the strongest proof of that. Thank you very much for watching. Right now, hit the subscribe button and watch the next video that has appeared on your screen.